Do you feel like you're doing all the right things? You've cut out junk food, stopped drinking pop, started eating healthier foods, but the weight won't budge. It's so frustrating, isn't it? Because it feels like you're doing everything right, but it's not happening. So, what if I told you that there's an ingredient in foods that you think are helping you, but is actually working against you? And what if I told you that ingredient is sugar? Hi, I'm Kim Rendon. I am your menopause rebel dietitian, and I am here helping you do menopause your way so you can feel like yourself again and do it with a rebel spirit. So, by the end of the video, you'll know where that sugar is hiding in your healthy foods, what it's doing to your metabolism in midlife, and how to spot it quickly on the food labels because weight loss in perimenopause doesn't have to be that hard. So let's start way back in the 80s, 90s, when they come out and said fat was bad for us, it was evil. The food companies started removing the fat from the foods, but that's our flavor, our texture, so they had to do something to take care of that. So that's where sugar started to come into our foods. So we have things like our low fat yogurt, low fat dressing, fat free dressing, reduced fat peanut butter, all those good low fat, reduced type of things. Some of the things that we see on the market right now that are just loaded with sugar, there's the flavored yogurt, granola, smoothies, protein bars, oat milk, whole grain bread, and salad dressings, and they all contain sugar. And those are some of the things you wouldn't think would have. I remember the time when I got vinaigrette thinking I was doing the healthy choice over ranch dressing, and it ended up having in the third, fourth, and fifth ingredients were all some sort of a sugar. So I was really putting raspberry syrup on my salad when I thought I was being healthy. Here's the thing about sugar it activates our reward pathways in the brain that release the dopamine. And that just makes us want to have more. And sometimes we talk about how addictive sugar is. In some laboratory studies, rats actually chose sugar over cocaine. You can believe that. And really, the food companies know that this is what's going on. They have designed what they call the bliss point, and that's where there's just enough sugar to keep you coming back. Now, and in perimenopause, our estrogen is declining, and the estrogen has been what helps regulate both our appetite and our blood sugar. So when our estrogen is dropping, cravings, especially for those quick energy, high sugar type of things, they become stronger. So when you eat those sugary foods, our blood sugar is going to rise and your body's going to release insulin to bring it back down. And then with the lack of estrogen, our cells aren't as responsive to insulin. And so the blood sugar and the insulin are there, and our body is more of in a fat storage mode versus a fat burning mode. And that's just not going to help us at all, right? So those foods that didn't affect you before are now going to affect you. So all of this can lead to more fat storage, especially around this middle-aged belly thing we got going on. And you're feeling like, I didn't change anything, but yet everything is changing, right? We get more energy crashes. So then that leads us back to wanting to go get more food, more of that sugary sweet stuff to get that sugar back up and get back to that good feeling of bliss, right? And that also leads to more inflammation. That inflammation leads to many chronic issues that we can get as we age also. So you're sitting here thinking, okay, Kim, what the heck do I do? So here's one of our things we're going to do. When you're grocery shopping, pick up your item and you're going to look on your label and it's going to say total sugars and added sugars. So check those out. So total sugars is all of the sugar in there, which is natural and added. And the added sugar is what's been added during processing. So let's not focus on what your total sugar is, but what your added sugar is. American Heart Association recommends 25 grams or less of added sugar per day for women, especially women our age, which is about 6 teaspoons of sugar. Watch your coffee too, if you're doing coffee. So, on my little bottle of salad dressing that I've had in my refrigerator for a really long time, and I look on here, my total sugars are 1 gram and my added sugars are 1 gram. So that's added sugar. That 1 gram total is what was put in during processing. So when you're looking at your label, if you have 0 to 5 grams added of sugar, that's your best choice. 6 to 10 grams, just be careful. You don't want, it's not something you want to do every day. Or if it has 10 grams or more, that's something I would probably like avoid. If you have 10 grams of total sugar and 2 grams of added sugar, and you're wondering, okay, so we know that 2 of those 10 are from added sugar, where does the other 8 come from? So, fruit has the natural sugar. Because fruit has a lot of fiber to it, it doesn't affect our blood sugar as much as what the added sugar does. Or milk has the lactose in it, which is your milk sugar, but you have your fat and your protein in there, so that's going to balance it out. Whereas it's the sugar that they add in here to make it really yummy, that's just going to spike up your sugar a lot faster. Now, there's the big thing. Sugar doesn't always show up on the label as sugar. In my salad dressing here, it says sugar, but some things you have high fructose corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup solids, corn syrup. So there's really a whole lot of, there can be 60 names for sugar that are hiding out in our foods, and it's not always easy to spot. Plus, they can add a little bit of sugar here and a little bit of sugar here and a little bit of sugar there in 3 different names, but they're going to add up to a whole lot of added sugar without realizing it. So, you're looking at your labels, checking out what is your added sugars, what are the sugars are added, and just trying to figure out what is your good product to get. This has 1 gram and that's in 2 tablespoons. I don't know, even like I said, I haven't used this in years. If I even use like 2 tablespoons on my salad, anyways. Um, so be a label shopper. Now you know where your sugars are hiding in your food, why your body wants to keep going back to that, and how to find it yourself. Losing weight during perimenopause isn't all about the willpower. There's so much more of what's being quietly added into your foods. And if you want to know more about what the sugars are, how to balance out a healthy diet without all the dieting, check out below for my Menopause Rebel Nutrition Guide. It's going to show you all the added sugars. It's going to talk about how to balance out your meals so that you're actually eating foods that don't contain all the added sugars and the processing.